I'm Sushma Mehrotra, and currently I am the chair of training standards and certification for EMDR Asia. And earlier I have been a university associate professor, and that's where my journey started. But I have also been the president of EMDR India and EMDR Asia in the past. Also, I'm a board member of Trauma Recovery Hub. Around 2000, 2001 in, in India, there was a massive earthquake, and which was first time, at least in our life, we saw the destruction from 40% to 100% of the infrastructure and human life. And we had just learned EMDR. We had no field experience except a few personal cases. So I wrote a letter to the trauma recovery teachers and trainers and volunteers that we would like to use that. Do you have any material which we can follow? And they went out of the way, especially Rosalie Thomas and Anne Kafuri. They went out of the way and encouraged us, taught us, and said, don't worry, you can make mistake, but still it will work. So please go ahead. So that was so inspiring that we landed up in that city, all volunteers, 40 of us. And we were looked after by NGOs and religious organizations, and we lived in the tent and without any much facility. And by rotation, for 6 months, we continued to work with 16,000 children and hundreds of parents, teachers, and some of the war veterans. Children were hesitating to go to the classrooms because of the fear of safety, fear of not being safe. And with EMDR, in no time, they started to go to the classroom, and then they would come home and encourage their parents also that something they are doing, that has a magical, and children found their own strength to deal with the trauma. And that gave us such a huge inspiration that we made a real presence of EMDR therapy in such a quick time. And that is my why and how my inspiration came from trauma recovery. So EMDR came to Asia with disasters because Asia is disaster prone. Many countries of Asia have a lot of natural man-made disasters. So it was from Europe and from USA. The team came with this voluntary organizations like Trauma Recovery from US and Trauma Aid from Europe. And Francine Shapiro's EMDR Institute was giving us a lot of blessings, push, material, and acknowledging. So they were not only imparting the services, but they were imparting the knowledge. So there's a saying that if you give a person a fish, you feed them one time. But if you teach a person how to fish, then it is for lifetime. So that is the Francine Shapiro effect. And thinking about not only America, where is she from, but also culturally to other people. So her book, if you read, Getting Past Your Past, she has interviewed people from different parts of the world, entered into their inner world, and reflected how EMDR can be applied over there. So I think her brain never slept. When she was awake or when she was sleeping, she kept on thinking that how can EMDR therapy reach everywhere? So she gave this model of volunteering. And then the spirit of volunteering and learning, the way she had structured the training, it is so structured. You ask Any Asian trainer, why you prefer EMDR therapy to other? They say it is so structured. We don't have to wreck our brains to say this should be first and that should be later. It's all the same, how it is, how it flows. So it is all because of Francie.